Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 278th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice here on Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today, along with Mark as co-host. Thank you, Mark. And I believe we're ready to present the works of the Universal Council here as the presenters in today's show. So without further ado, I hand it over to the Universal Council.
Yes, thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so much. And welcome, 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 beautiful souls from all over the world, from all over the cosmos. Thank you being here, present here. Thank you so much. All the love, all you. Welcome, Suswagatam to the beautiful energy, the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Welcome to the beautiful, beautiful energy of all knowledge seekers from all over the world, even in the cosmos, from the cosmos. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy of one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. So, elevating the souls, we are creating peace. That is the beauty of it. And then there is so much to, now we can understand that there is so much to do. We were kind of, we were just trapped somehow. And now we know we have to do so many things. We are taking responsibility of the whole humanity. And thank you for all of you, to all of you for being here. And here I'm going to read from as the introduction. I will say one thing also, and that is created by UC Lisbeth, and that is here it is. Yes, we work to form one nation with the ethos of the plasma technology. So we all work together to form the one nation with the ethos of plasma technology. Here we are, the soul is connected with the spirit, as we say so, the plasma as a technology, the plasma as a soul, the plasma as a spirit, understandable, explainable in the beauty and totality. So here I'm going to read a clip from from Knowledge Seeker Workshop 489. Now you understand why man needs to understand the use of the field. Energy of the soul. Now you even understand why when people tell us they became with the position of death, they saw a light. This is a point when the STM energy of the STM crosses the fields. Strength of the STP of the man. The interaction of two fields creates light, and that light position creates a dimension of peace. They always talk, it's so peaceful. Yes, because now you are cocoon within the energy. You allowed it to expand and complete itself around you. Now we understand the whole process of creation and death. If you understand the structure of your eye, even more, you can understand why you have a spinal cord and why your spine, your neural system is even white, greenish color, and why it goes down the body of the man to the ground. It's like a volcano. You have surrounded it with a skull. It has nowhere but to go to for communication down the line, which you call it a spine. Doesn't matter if you walk on a four legs or two. Now you understand even the animals who don't have bone structure, how the calcium structure in their body transfers its energy through the amino acids connected to the calcium. You don't need a spine in the space. The calcium in the part of the space will change to magnesium and another to create the same communication line. In some points, man can never transfer from energy into physical matter state to become a body to get physicality because the field strength is as such that can lead the opening of the plasma of the STM. The plasma continuously creates the layers to protect itself, to keep its integrity because it's within its center. Now you understand how you as a body have lived these two double life. Now even should understand how the position of your eyes and the volume of the color part into respect to the white part dictates your behavior, your emotion, your appearances, your openness, your meaningness for you to be a lot of things. When you interact with people, first interaction is to look into the eye. Of course, look into the eye and see the soul. Doesn't matter if they are wearing dark glasses or light glasses. Physicality has no dimension when it comes to the position of the soul. You have got to understand. Now the knowledge given to you is deep enough and gradually establishing the point of understanding that in no point in time and position you need the sight to see or have the dimension of physicality to live if you manage to understand the dimension of the fields of your existence. Once one atom of hydrogen can cover the whole universe, so is one seed of love. Really beautiful. And this is how the Creator created loving what He has within Himself. And we starve for it. And we work that when we finish the physicality, we are loved, that we go into heaven, which is the closeness to His soul. It's within us and within our soul. And if we learn to be that banana in the seed at the time as a love and care, all the time as a love and care, then you understand the principle of mitra. You have no time to do anything but think good. You have no time to act. You have no time but to act good. And no time but to actually do good. Now you understand the importance of your eye. Because once you learn the color, the white have to operate the same. You can't lie through the color where the soul tells you the truth. So beautiful. So, my dear beautiful souls, see, see from your eyes, see the love that has created by you, created within you. See through the eyes, the beauty of the eyes. The beauty of the eyes is in this process of loving each other, seeing the beauty and totality. So, thank you, thank you for listening, my dear beautiful souls. And then again, I will say, when we meet, this is not a coincidence. This is because you are a part of me, I am a part of you. So the meeting is always set in a way if you choose the path of peace and love. It is always set to me. So when we respect each other, love each other, understand that we were never separate. Thank you. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you. Rick, we can go to the next slide. Here are the wishes, beautiful wishes from beautiful hearts and souls. And if anybody wants to read that wish, always welcome.
We have many Universal Council members here, I think. You can read the first one. I take another one, and Jacko take the third one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, my dear Mary. Thank you. So here is the wish, the lovable wish. We work from one nation. We work to form one nation with the ethos of the plasma technology. So beautiful. We are present. Thank you. The next presentation. Maybe?
Okay, I take the next one. We create conditions. We create condition to cover the needs of Keshe Foundation with the help of the volunteers to continue the research and development in a very big way for all souls in existence.
We are present. Beautiful. This enhancing is very necessary, and it is beneficial for humanity as a whole, as we are in this position to create this. So much beauty. We have to understand our ability to do that. Thank you. We are present. And there is another wish, my dear.
Maybe you read that, Sweta?
Oh, yes. We unify and elevate all souls in existence across the universe. So there's the bridge across the universe. We are present. We are connected always with the cosmos. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are present. There is another wish here.
Yes, and this wish is related to your presentation last Tuesday,
Yes.
Sweta.
Thank you. Thank
about
you,
the victims of cultural oppression. Through the
yes.
soul, okay, through the soul of the Universal Council, we elevate the souls of all victims and the abusers of cultural oppression on planet Earth and share the truth through the knowledge of the Creator.
Beautiful. We are present, my dear. Beautiful. Very beautiful.
Okay. I am Marie. I'm a Universal Council member for the Norwegian language. And the Universal Council has for a long time done soul communication, or maybe it should be soul connection. I think that's more right. Soul connection. On a daily basis, we have done this. And we want to try this in the One Nation, One Planet, One Race to invite you all to connect with our souls, but between all of us and with everyone, every soul that is around us. So Jacko did this last Tuesday. I will try today, but it's quite similar, but it's always a little different. So I will ask everyone to find a comfortable position, sitting or laying down, or just find a position that is comfortable. And then we close our eyes and we breathe slowly in through our nose and out through our nose to support our soul. And we thank our soul for guiding us in this transitional time. And we also ask the soul to lift the veil from the eye of the soul. And we ask for the permission to connect with all the souls of the knowledge seekers. And we ask for the permission to connect with all the souls of the Universal Council and the Universal Council soul. And through the Universal Council soul, we connect to the universal community. Every soul who is there will connect to us through this connection. That is our brothers and sisters in the universe. And we connect with all the systems of Keshe Foundation, wherever they are in the world. And we thank them for doing so much beautiful work for humanity. And we connect to the soul of Mr. Keshe. And we thank him for giving us all this beautiful knowledge and to lead us on this path. And through the dome of peace, we exchange our fields and connect to each other. And we send all our fields of unconditional love and peace to all souls of humanity, so that every soul can receive what it needs and can find peace and balance in their own being and with the environment, so that everyone becomes peaceful and society becomes peaceful and the whole earth becomes peaceful. And then we continue doing this. And then we slowly come back. And we thank all the souls who participated in this elevation of the souls of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Hello, dear souls.
in, on, and beyond our beautiful planet Earth. It's me, Jaco, UC member and representative of the Dutch language. Welcome to you all. The picture you see was yesterday morning. 2 months ago, we were on an exercise when a class of young children came and their teacher asked if it's possible for the children, they're about 2 to 3 years old, to take a look inside of our firefighter truck. And of course we said, there's no problem. And the little ones, their eyes were almost glowing, sitting at the seats where normally the firemen sit. Since we had to do our exercise, I exchanged telephone numbers with the lady teacher, and yesterday they came to go for a ride. Every single one of them carried with them their children's seat, and it was just fantastic to see the joy these young souls had. Being a firewoman, a fireman for just a moment. Now we come to the teachings of Mr. Keshe from last Thursday. Life is there to enjoy the time when you want to do something. It's not there to be active all the time. In the dimension of the soul, there is no time. You decide the step of time between the manifestation and the move. There's never a too late, because you are the starter of the time. Eyes are not only receiving, they also send out and radiate soul energy. Now we interact with the souls who are around us. We all interact if a soul changes position, as well as the others move when we change position. Do you now understand why it's so important to move right? To decide this time to take the right position of peace. Everything starts with our decision. Which path we take, which ethos we live. Establish the connection to get to the right position. Traveling through our soul and the soul of physicality, you cannot miss your goal. So we never get lost. And how beautiful is that? Allow the dream of reality. Allow both visions to melt together, to become one. Stop fooling yourselves and others by lying and cheating. Expand your vision and awareness far beyond the boundaries of Earth and into the universe and unicos. Start working with this knowledge. Start to spread from your soul and don't expect anything back. Enjoy the knowledge and what your unconditional love will change. Trust your soul and its creative power within. How to dimensionalize the energy through the soul, through dimension of emotion, manifest position of physicality, soul to soul of physicality to physicality. We really need to learn and understand love can cover the whole universe. Feel the strength, dear souls. You carry it within you all the time. Cover your surroundings, humans, animals, plants, souls and stones. Do it with your pure, unconditional love. For those who understand this, they will feel what strength lays in this beauty. How to use the field energies of your soul. One seed of love serves the whole creation. And it's like in this song that says, start walking, boots. We now say, start spreading, boots, freely from your soul. This world needs our love. Never ever lose your inner child. Nourish it. Be grateful. We thank you from our heart and soul for your participation. And may the love of the creation and the Creator be with all of us. Thank we as one.
Thank you, Jackal. Very beautiful.
Thank you, my dear Jaku. Thank you so much. Very, very beautiful indeed.
Okay, this is Marie again. I wanted to talk about this next session with Mr. Keshe. Wellness through the work of the soul. I'll read this text on this, but I will also bring what Mr. Keshe said in the latest Knowledge Seekers workshop. This elevation will be for the soul of the man, for the emotion, and for the physicality of any kind of misfunctioning of the body. This is the first time that we try to reach as many people as possible at the same time, that we can bring all the bodies to perfection at the same time. So that is very interesting, isn't it? So in the latest Knowledge Seekers workshop, Mr. Keshe is talking about this in the beginning of the workshop. So I will read a little bit of that. In the past few months, in the session of meeting with the Creator, and we had so much success and so much understanding and development with these systems, and with the sharing of your time with us, that we have reached a point with our doctors and scientists in the background that this week Keshe Foundation has launched a very interesting international collaboration with the wellness centers. And in conjunction with the doctors, we have launched a very unusual meeting with the soul of the Creator and the wellness of the man himself. This program is unusual, as before we had one session for one Friday. This session, which is now promoted on the Keshe Foundation as wellness, is for anyone who can join on a 3-week session, which is the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th of July, and the conclusion week on the 28th of July. Maybe that's the week after, because I changed the dates because I think it's the correct dates that I said. Where we run a 3-hour session in each section. This is part of the background of the programs we announced a month ago, where we can reach anyone at any point, any destination, for anything they wish. Would it be addiction? Would it be food? Would it be any wellness condition that they have? And we think this will open a new dimension in what we call wellness of the man. You have psychological problems, you have physical problems. It could be you have a tooth pain and you have a knee pain or whatever, and you want to see how you can get better, how wellness comes. We are not in the medical world. We are in the understanding of how we can communicate and transfer new technologies, which has come into operation as of next week, more or less, in the process of reaching everything people need at the same time. This is a mass trial, hundreds of people, and we have launched this. And we think this will be one of the prerequisites and part of the space technology development, where we can reach man at any point. He can connect to systems at any point. And 3-hour duration is more than enough to complete the cycle. And then teach the body in the following weeks to tune itself to it. We want to know how much we can reach and how far we can reach. Somebody called me and asked, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? The only thing is you need 2 sets of headphones in this session. One on your head and one where you want the energy of your soul to be transferred to. You might want a big muscle on one eye, or you want to have a condition. Doctors tells you it needs exercising this, or you have any condition else where wellness, you put it in that point. And then we run a massive operation in the background for Keshe Foundation to reach you. You might like a watermelon, you might like to fall in love. We want every combination. Somebody says, can I test it with my disease? We are not there on the medical side. But if this is your wish, you can try. It's a freedom reaching the wellness of the man. I like to feel better in my life. Can we reach you emotionally? And you know where your emotion comes from. So we have launched this, and you can go there with the Keshe Foundation. Thank you. So that was the very interesting new session that is coming up for wellness. And I think in the beginning there was also, he talked about some centers in physicality too, that is coming up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Mary. Now, yes, the wellness through the work of the soul. This is so beautiful to understand. If This ability is within all of us. And yes, the medical side doesn't work here. If it's a disease, it doesn't work. If we wish to get well, we want to, a relationship, falling in love, as Mary said, or even the pain, where to be kind to yourself. So this is what the wellness is about, the wish, the work of the soul and the spirit together. So thank you. Thank you, Mary. Join the sessions. Join, my dear beautiful souls. So much relief. So much out of this trap. Get rid of the addictions. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute. And we can go to the next slide, my dear.
Yes. I want to, since I made this, there are 2 parts from the latest Knowledge Seekers workshop. The latest part is the role of China, but I also received another one that is from a earlier part of the teaching. It's from one of the Universal Council members. Did you understand that, Rick?
Sorry, could you give that to me again?
I sent you on Telegram. There are 2 parts of the Knowledge Seekers workshops.
Yes. So would you like to
play them in like the one in the that is earliest in the teaching, maybe?
At 2:23:34 we started, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Let's see here. Okay, so this excerpt is from the 489th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, starting at 2:23.5 minutes, 2 hours, 23.5 minutes, basically. Okay. Named in hours to days. Can you tell us more about that?
It's been settled. This is very interesting. That even you see separate things happening in different ways, the basis, fundamental world peace basis, has been settled. So much so that the Chinese have taken lead on this, and economical power of them is dictating it. The hot spots of the war past 100 years has been Middle East and a strong influence of the Americans. We saw the same thing in Africa for a long time with between the communists and the rest. And this situation has been settled 2 ways. The basis for the world peace is now fully grounded by the Chinese. It's the beauty of the leadership presidency of China. They pushed they stood on the sideline. They didn't take side, but they pushed the mighty power of purchasing power to influence those who were purchasing from them. That you want us to purchase, this is a new way. Find a solution. American pushed war between the neighbor country of Saudi to bring Iran into war as supporting that country. And it was very lucrative for the Americans and the Israelis. They sold everything to it. And the Saudis blinded with gold, black gold. And Chinese came in, said the stability comes when we have a continuous supply and there is a peace in Middle East and Persian Gulf, in that part of the world. And the wisdom of military did not work. The wisdom of finance and collaboration worked. So much so that this week Iran, after 7-8 years, has opened its embassy and consul in Saudi Arabia. We see the same thing. United Arab Emirates canceling a number of military agreements with Americans in favor of collaboration, bigger expansion with China. We've seen a massive injection of 400 billion by the Chinese into gas lines of Iran. And they want to make sure these gas lines have never been damaged or there is nothing. So they needed this peace, economical peace with Saudis. We see the same pattern in Africa. And next month's meeting of the BRICS with 20 new nations on the board lining up to join, devaluing the dollar. And this now has pushed the Americans to change direction more, maybe short term, trying to get nations back, but long term, knowing they lost the ground to the Chinese. And President Xi uses this for a very prudent way of doing it because they push with their massive construction companies that we give this, but we do this. China might lose long term, but short term will guarantee the long term success. And we will see the same very soon in the next few months in Ukraine. Vatican will pay heavily for their interference in Ukraine. And we've seen it even in the past 2 or 3 days by breaking up the dam in Ukraine, either way, accidentally or deliberately, a huge plan by the Western allies to push the war into the line of the Russia and maybe beginning of another war. A huge number of soldiers and hardware have been washed down the Rhine. They don't tell us in the West, but military reports, official reports in military shows hundreds and thousands of vehicles have washed down the line. So all the promises of getting back now has become a bigger danger with other things. But China will be the beneficiary of this dam. They will rebuild this dam. No government has the financial backing and the material backing of China to build this dam. Billions of dollars. But with what we see sitting in the side of the Keshe Foundation with the support, agricultural support and new technologies, Ukraine and grain bread baskets will soon be replaced by China. By 27-30, China will become an exporter of grain, replacing Ukraine. This is the biggest mistake Vatican made in encouraging this war. And the Americans will pay for it more heavier because the Chinese grain will not be by, what do you call it, modified. And Keshe Foundation will have a huge hand in this development. By 2027, 30s, China will become one of the major natural, normal, beautiful, non-GMO seeds, which again pushes the Americans back, and all these so many deaths we see in the farmers in Africa and Asia, which they cannot, every year they have to buy the seed. So in general, we'll see a massive change or shift, but it has to be fundamental. It cannot be by top. We know clearly situations like Taiwan will be resolved by Chinese in a very amicable way because the Americans trying to use it as a hotspot. But we'll see Taiwan to become part of the mainland China in the next 5 to 7 years. Chinese don't war. They don't go to war to create, war to get. They use wisdom. And it's the wise way to do it. And the only beneficiary we'll see is a long term is Chinese. And they use that for peace. And the seed for the world peace has been set by the Chinese leadership. And you will see it. They tell me I support Chinese a lot with this and that, but we sit there with reality. We sit, we watch, we've been part of the structure. And we see how the changes are coming in. What comes in the Western newspapers is a bunch of lies, which has online readers. That's the only way they can keep their, what I call colonial time alive. But in fact, there's no colony left. As a Chinese ambassador told me once in Brussels in 2010-11, he said, now colonization comes with science. If we get hold of scientists like you, you're an oil well, we become rich. No more lands can replace the new technology and sciences that scientists like you bring. And that oil well has landed in China. And we see the whole angles of the development. And it's not based on military might, it's based on fairness and what we call development of the peace. So you make more money out of peace than the few factories making guns. The only people who make money, especially in the West, is the church and the gun manufacturers. They kill, and the rest of the family pays in every weekly prayer to the church. And this is what has to come to an end. And it has come to an end. So it started, it's backed. Science and technology is backed by the most powerful nation in the world. And US citizens realize and see it gradually in the coming time.
Is that where you'd like to end, Murray? I think that's what was in my instructions.
Yeah, if it was in your instructions, then it's the end point.
Okay, thank you.
We can take the other. There was another one.
Okay.
Yes.
That was 20.
I don't know if Sveta wants to comment on it. Do you want to do that, Sveta? About the Chinese.
Yes, about the this in the knowledge seeker workshop. I welcome Moshfik. He will tell better than me because it is about the technology, universal technology. I will say very scientific indeed. So Moshfik, you are welcome to say anything about this clip.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Okay, I will talk about, yes, this basis of peace, more than the technology at this point, but let's delve into it a little bit. The basis of peace, we see this in the presentation that Mr. Keshe did. Now, how do we participate in it? In creating this basis for peace? Have we done it? Are we doing it? Do we have more work left for us to do? during the last meeting in May, there was the meeting about elevation of the children that were abused. And this month we have the upcoming meeting of elevating the soul of those who are the abusers. Now, all of us here, hopefully, are the children of this planet. Our parents, our grandparents, similarly, are children of this planet. The abuse that we are familiar with now at this time, is it something new? As a parent, I can say that there are things I did in my interaction with the children, with my children, that I could have done better. Some of it is a remnant, although it may be faint, but it is there. We have all been abused, not a lot maybe for some of us, but that strain is there. Maybe our parents loved us. There is no question about that. We love our children. There is no question about that. But the habits have percolated over the ages, and it's there. Now that we are able to examine these, it's not difficult. In some places, it is more so than others. In some environments, it's more so than others. And so, us being abused is not a new story. Having respect for our children is something we are all understanding, just like respecting any other soul. So the situation, we are already improving the situation. We have done the elevation of the soul of the children, and this work was started by Universal Council in 2017. And things have evolved, both in terms of global awareness, as well as attempt to improve the situation. There is a much larger or much more widespread awareness of the situation now because of various circumstances that have come to light. It's one of the interesting things is that as a person of this planet, I am a children of this planet, and I also have children on this planet. So in some cases, I could have done better with my children. So could have been less abusive, let's say. And in many cases, our emotional insecurity, fears, and all of the things that we have grown accustomed to played its part. And the other entities around us that affects our lives added to the mix. So although we did not want to do it, sometimes we had very little choices. But the situation is changing. And when as a child, we see the peaceful peace in the face of children that are born, we want to keep that peace. The basis of peace when we arrive on this planet is there. It gets polluted, But we want to maintain that basis in our children, in ourselves. And this is the basis of peace in our own home, in ourselves, our family. So this elevation of soul of the children and the abusers is really something that's in our home. We are elevating the children of all the children, not just now, in the past, in the future, all of it. So that this basis of peace is everywhere, in every soul, in every home, in every community, in every nation, and therefore the whole planet. So, as much as China is helping in planting the seed, basis of the seed, which is the basis of peace, we are doing our part. And this basis of peace at home, in our own homes, is a fundamental change which has to happen if we are to have peace everywhere. We elevate the souls of our children, means we elevate our souls. We elevate the souls of the abuser, that means we elevate our souls. All of us. There is no exception here. No matter where we are in life, which place we are in, this is part of the way forward. And we can never let it slide. And so the basis of peace has to be a firm basis of peace for all of us here and now. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. So beautifully you explained, you expressed. So beautiful. Yes, the foundation, the fundamental thing is that we have to elevate all of us as victims, as abusers, as the child of humanity. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And we can play the video, my dear Rick?
Yeah, I want to comment on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is Marie again, because it's about the elevation of victims. Because I'm sitting here with the or the transcript of the 484th Knowledge Seekers, the latest one. And here Mr. Keshe says, this time about the elevation of a child, for instance, who is abused. This time, when you close your eyes to reach the soul of a child who is abused, you move the emotion of the world president to a peaceful president and create that love within in you first. So we have to create that love within us first, and we have to move the emotion of the world, or the world leaders, I guess. And then you find that the child elevates and the president will move. So I found that really interesting. So my understanding is that in the universe, there is no punishment. But and when we look at this, especially child abuse, but any kind of abuse, how to get rid of it? And there is only one way, and that is to elevate. Because when you elevate, you move, you change position, and then the circumstances are changing. And the thing we learned from Mr. Keshe is also that in this case, we don't only elevate the soul of the child, which we all would think is we have to do, but we also elevate the soul of the abuser. So the abuser will also change position, and he will have or he or she would have a higher field strength within and change his ways. And that is a way to get rid of the abuse. And I have another thing here. It's just under, and this is, I've been walking around and thinking about all this Mr. Keshe is telling us. And in the latest Knowledge Seekers workshop, he said, I'm going to read a very short part, and then I'm going to tell what I'm thinking. As I always said, it's in the writing that even the stone has a soul. You find the strength of the soul of the stone, and you will live within it if you wish to. I've done that many times, Mr. Keshe says. I sat there for centuries, watched man passing by. Life is not to be active, to do all the time something. Life is there to enjoy the time when you want to do something. And yes, there is more thing. I think that last sentence is what Jacko was talking about today. But about Mr. Keshe in this stone, I've been thinking about that. So I think my soul have taught me something. How is that possible? Okay, a stone has a soul. I can understand that. Everything has a soul, even a stone has a soul. So there is a soul within the stone. But what is a soul? What is the soul of the man? It's a star. So how could Mr. Keshe live within this star, in this stone? He traveled to this solar system. So inside this stone, if there is a soul, there is a star, and there might be many places you can live, and there might be many beings within this stone. Yes, so I was thinking about this a lot. And so, okay, so the human being or any entity, any living entity has a soul within, even the stone, as I said. So the human being has the soul of the man. So what is the soul of the man? It's a star. So if you, and since it, this beautiful concept in plasma technology, everything is the same in micro and macro. So if my soul is a sun, I can look at the sun in the sky in this solar system and see how it behaves, because it will behave in the same way. So maybe within my soul, there will be many places to live if someone comes to visit me in my soul. I was thinking about this, and I just wanted to share that with you. And I know that Mr. Keshe also said, okay, the soul of the man is a star. And in a way, the organs in our body is like planets. Who's living in those planets? Are there living beings there? Do they have rain and wind and storms? And snow, maybe, if everything is the same in micro and macro. But maybe that wind and snow is in physicality, and the equality, the thing that is equal is in energy state. There is a lot to ponder on. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Let me just insert something here that's relevant, perhaps. There's an article, scientific articles came out in April, end of April, saying that all 5 of the building blocks of DNA and RNA have been found in meteorites that come from space, from other parts of the universe or other parts of our solar system. So in a way, if the soul is in that DNA and RNA, the soul is in the rock, in the stone, quite literally bits of souls. So that's interesting that they've supposedly discovered that in the last few months.
Thank you, Rick. If there is no other comments from anyone who wants to add to this, maybe we should play that other part of...
Marie, it's Dean here. May I make some comments?
Yes.
Thank you. So thank you, Marie. That was very touching, and I think you managed to portray and elevate many people with those words from Mr. Keshe, and from the condition that you've manifested and you brought forward from the thoughts and intentions in your soul, which is unlimited. And we all have this capability to be part of this. So when we speak about conditions that are set, they are set within us. We set the condition in this moment. And very recently, there's been some activity locally around here, and some of it's very beautiful. And I heard some news recently that was not so good, where we heard this a siren goes off here 3 times if there's the fire brigade are needed for either a fire or an accident. And this time it was an accident, and I've just learned that it was some people that were in a car accident. And I won't go into it in too much detail. However, it's all about time, place, and position, and what positions us into these positions in that moment. What is it that leads us to these places? What have we thought of? What have we created? What are we aware of? What do we focus on? It's so important. And so with this technology, we know that a thought travels across, through our very being, through the essence of our soul, and radiates out across the whole universe, across this planet, which is very small in comparison with the rest of just the galaxy. If you look back from the galaxy, you can't see the planet Earth. And so when you look at it from a perspective, from a viewpoint, you realize that the sheer size of space around us is so vast that we couldn't comprehend it. However, within that capability, that means if we are unlimited, we have the ability to control this small space gap, this small inner space with a thought within inside ourselves in this moment. And we can create. And when we become knowledgeable, when we take some of this knowledge, receive this knowledge, I should say, and we transmute it and we use it. It was spoken about a little bit earlier on about the eyes. So in the eye of the beholder. So when people, through this knowledge that's being dispersed and given by Mr. Keshe, is gradually opening up the soul aspect for people to be able to, human beings and others, to be able to transmute themselves and time, place, and position of the matter state that you are creating with your thoughts and intentions. So we as an individual, when we come together as one, we dictate the condition. We have the whole of the universe within us. So we have the capability to create the matter state that we wish for in this moment. So when many people say, what can I do? You can do everything in this moment. You just have to be balanced and still, learn some of this knowledge, receive it, and disperse it, give it out, radiate it out like a sun. And then you will create. And as long as we've come to understand through the universal ethos and through the teachings of Mr. Keshe, that when we become very balanced and we become a giver and we give as much as we can to others, then we receive a lot more back. So that means by just giving a thought, a smile, whatever the intention is, that's the most important bit. And when you release that intention with an aspect of wanting to give to another, you are creating. And so when we talk about world leaders or governments or positions on the planet, who is creating this? Who is creating this? When it all starts with us in this moment. So when we decide, when we in this very moment decide that it's a peaceful condition, then we have peace in this moment. And then time, place, and position, like the magnets, if you put a magnet with other magnets around it, one magnet moves all the other magnets. It's like a soul that sits it's squarely inside your structure as a human being. And when you have a right thought and intention, you can reposition everything. So when you do it with love and care and you want to give to another, you are creating in the moment. You're creating that peace. And that can be the peace and love for yourself, the war inside. And once that stops, then the environment around you starts to change. And then from micro to macro, as was spoken about, from an atom to a universe is all the same. So little old you and I can do everything in this moment. And when we join together, when we connect as universal beings, as earth beings, as souls, soul of man, then in this very moment, we can create the peace that we so have in this moment, this very moment. And nothing in the matter state can stop this once we have that peace. So for me, it's there's many ways to create this. We all go through the emotions of life, of being present in our environments, and all the emotions of being born and raised and as a child, and all the emotions we have that are given to us and we receive. But then we come to a position of the soul aspect that is present in the moment, has all the information, unlimited, and you just need to allow it to guide you and be present with it. And that's what all these teachings are about. That's what many people are experiencing through like the wellness program that is being brought forward to stop addictions. So an addiction is an emotion. Everything's an emotion that is creating in the moment. So this is all that internal confusion and internal emotions of the environment that we create within inside ourselves, and then give ourselves lots of other problems. So when you become very balanced, you can create a beauty. You know, you are sun, so start radiating like a sun, every cell in your body. Do it with everything in your heart and being and your soul to give to another, and they will receive, and you will find that it will change everything. And when each person becomes responsible for their own thoughts and actions and words, then it changes the whole ethos. And then the control that we think is there is really within us. It is us. So be at peace yourself, enjoy life, as Mr. Keshe, and what was spoken about just then. In the quiet moments, just appreciate everything you have in every moment, be thankful for it. And remember that the foundation is not for profit and it's not theology. This is being a soul that is unlimited, and as it's been spoken about, a bright shining star that knows no difference other than to shine very, very brightly for all to see. And each and every one of you, when you become magnificent, you stand in your power and you become present in the moment, you are the gift, you are unlimited, and you always have been. And I thank you for your presence and for listening. Thank you. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, my dear Dean, for your beautiful words, kind words always. Thank you. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. My dear Rick, now we can play the video.
Time. One secret which mankind has not understood about the structure of his eye is the color of his eye, the shape of the eye. You have an eyeball, and then you have a different color circle, which is the shape of the universe, shape of a plasma. Why your colored part of the eye is round? There is a reason for it. It absorbs certain strength fields in a dimension of the plasma. You see that color, the color of your eye, dictates the emotion you carry, dictates even the color of your skin, dictates the color of your hair. Because it's not just a vision, it's not just for you to see, it's the line of emotion. It's why we have different cultural, mental differences in the nations, what we made nations of us, and the cultural behavior we created. A slight change in the tone of the eye creates different emotion. And this becomes part of the characteristics of life. Now, if you look at your eye, you just see the color part. But the most important part of your eye is the white part, not the color part. The color part is for your physicality. The white part is part of your soul. It's where the soul transmutes, where the soul always, irrespective of the color, keeps its communication, its line of opening. We're always looked at the color part of the eye. Our doctors look into it because they are physical doctors. When you dream, you don't go through that jungle. When you dream through the white. It's a travel, the space dimension of the soul. This is why when I keep on telling you, you live a two-dimensional life without knowing. The eye of the man looks at the person in front. The soul of the man through the white sees the soul of the person. We have ignored the most important part of our lives, What happened to the blind people? What happened to the people who only have the white? What happened to our children when they are born? Now you understand how much man has ignored the second part of his life all the time. When you close your eyes, when you bring the shutter down, you close the dimension of physicality, not the soul. And this is why sometimes we remember dreams, we see them as visual, because the eyeball as a white with this section, which is a physical part, is part of the same. Some of the fields gets absorbed, touched through it as it goes, and you remember it as a dream. So next time when we ask you to close your eyes, lift the eyeball that most of the white is in use. And then set the seed in your emotion and in the soul that I want to see the mother. I want to see the whole family. My dad, my brothers, half dead, half alive. Some on the moon, some on the earth, some in Africa, some in Asia. Then you understand multiplicity of the power of the use of your soul. Multitasking is not the job of the soul. Always tasking is the job of the soul. This is why you say, I was going and somebody pulled me back. That someone is your soul, which looks through the white, is aware of what physicality doesn't see, but in openness can instruct, interact with your physical dimension and move it back. You do this through the emotion and the soul when you give yourself cancer. No part of the body of the man, not a single hair, is created for no purpose. Your liver absorbs multifaceted dimensions of energies. You call it different proteins and whatever. The eye of the man has a multifaceted operation. The color part, which creates interaction with the physicality, and a white part where is a communication line of your soul.
Okay, I think I went a little longer than requested, but
Yes.
sorry about it there.
Yes, thank you. And this is the clarity of this message, that how can we see with the soul, eyes of the soul. That is very important, that we see, when we see with the, as Mama Shriman and Keshe said, that keep your eyeballs in the upper side when you close your eyes. This is a very, very beautiful information as you do. Anyone can practice that. We can practice that more and more so that we can see the truth, see the truth, experience the truth. And as you can use your soul, eye of the soul, as a truth detector, as a detective. So thank you so much for listening, my dear beautiful souls. So thank you. Salam, namaste, salute. Now we can go to the next slide, Jivit. Yes, here bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council as one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. And I welcome all beautiful souls to share your message, your love, anything you want, your experiences, and any comment on the presentation. Please do. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Hi, Shweta.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, Rick, do you want to go ahead?
Go ahead. Well, there's a message from someone in the live stream. So since this is for needs and wishes from the community, I'd like to say the note here. It's from Nick V, who says, "Hi, Rick, Universal Council, peace and elevation on your souls always. I have two things to say. One is I have found by doing the Meet the Soul of the Creator workshops to help humanity by having my stomach empty from food as possible, I can feel my soul and the fields taking over as we are doing the soul level work." The second thing he says is, "I asked the Universal Council for a wish, please. Universal Council, ask my soul for the elevation it needs to resolve a huge issue I've had and for me to serve humanity and all souls on all levels as a soul should."
We are present, my dear Rick, my dear Nick. Sorry, I apologize. My dear Nick, anything more he wants to say? Rick?
That was it. So
Okay. We are present in your wish, my dear Nick. Always will be. Beautiful soul you are. And about the as you said about the fasting or without taking any food, this is a tradition, very ancient, fasting. And as when we take food, the physicality works more, manifests more. So it is when we focus on something, like you were saying, working for serving the humanity, then this is also a process that we elevate souls without this bodily desires, leaving these bodily desires for some times or even days. There was this tradition of fasting, and it has been interpreted very wrongly about that. If you fast, you can go to God. If you fast, then about a religious way, you can go to that. But then the fasting is all about the let go of many things, not taking food, to take a break from all these physical forms. And we are doing it in a way, elevating. Even we are in this condition, we are still taking food. We are, well, what I can say, but we can do still, if we take what you need, kind of, as I experienced, my food intake has become very small. I mean, small quantity is small. And sometimes even when I'm sitting here, I'm coming here to present in the oneness, I even sometimes I avoid even drinking a tea, or a coffee, so that because of the distraction, sometimes I feel that I may be distracted. So there's kind of gap, I want to say. I give a gap, a space, so that I can balance myself to be present in this moment, and this is a kind of tradition always, and it is always we maintain this. So we are in this process, my dear Nick. So thank you for your sharing, and thank you, my dear. We are always present in your wishes. Thank you.
Shweta, Rick, can I say a few words about this?
Welcome.
Wishes?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm down here.
Thank you. So this bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council. So being present in Linz in these moments, we know the foundation is the Linz Centre is going to change position. However, I was there present recently, and there's still a very big field strength there. We had a group of people that came, knowledge seekers and beautiful souls that have taken to the plasma knowledge and have understood the soul essence of man. And people walk through the doors and of the exhibition centre, and they feel it. There was many people, some people were very present in the moment, and the science touched them on the physicality level. So the level 1 was touching the physicality. And but the technology, as we know, is a plasma. And so it opens up, and it's like when you receive this knowledge, and the smallest little plasma then becomes, it starts off with a tiny seed, and then it just opens and blooms like a flower, and then the seeds drop, and then more seeds start to bloom. And you see this within the soul of man as they have a beautiful tour around the exhibition with Mario, and they are given some knowledge, and shown that the tools that have all been produced to create an elevation and to help and bring a balance to the physicality and to the emotion of man. And it was very special to be present with the souls there that were very, very touched. And you see it. There was 2 souls I spoke to yesterday, and one man was he became very aware of his soul journey, his whole reason for being present. He said on planet Earth in this moment, and when he said the moment he walked through the doors, and I saw him, and he was crying and very big emotions, but you could see within his structure, within his very being, that he knew from that moment what he had to do to be present, to give back to humanity and to the Keshe Foundation and humanity, I should say. And I spoke to him for a little while, and he explained his journey. And like all of us, we all have very, very big different experiences and emotions that create all our interactions. But it's when we come to that precise moment where of realization of what it is on a soul level to be present, and to suddenly become to switch, to suddenly come to a position where you want to enhance and give back. And then, as I said, that then the plasma really opens up. And there are other souls there yesterday that some received the essence of the knowledge. And there was one person who they were present. They went through a certain situation where I could see that they were they didn't need the tools as such. They weren't interested in so much in the technology of the tools. However, they felt a very big presence on a soul level, and they needed to experience what this was at the exhibition centre on a soul level. And I spoke with them, and they said that it feels very, very pure and very, very loving. I said, it is only love. It really is unconditional love, and it is a very safe place to be. And they felt that. And as Mr. Keshe said many times, everybody who comes to this position is part of the family. And it's like there's like a dome, a field strength that surrounds. As soon as you walk in the doors, you sort of sense it, you feel it to be part of a bigger community. And once the exhibition changes its position and moves, wherever it goes on planet Earth has no real relevance, because we know that the field strength and the ability of the soul is unlimited. And in these moments, we're going to be able to travel from point A to point B very, very soon, where time, place, and position will the position certainly won't really matter, because it won't matter. It's the matter state. So it will be a thought. It will be, you know, the knowledge that's being given with the eyes, contact with Mr. Keshe just said, with the whites of the eye, the solar man, learning this, you know, bringing it into the essence of what you feel, and your understandings of whatever beliefs, whatever you have within yourself. But with this knowledge, it's going to give, you know, this important ability where we can suddenly be in different places, different positions, and not control, it's probably the wrong word, but we can create, you know, where we need to be in the moment. So we can create to be in a position that would help and benefit all the others. And I think that's the most important message from the foundation, is here to help the nations, the people, you, to help you very directly to achieve what it is you need to achieve, to be able to be in service to yourself and to all the others, so that we create this peace. And it's definitely that field strength was always been present in the foundation with all the knowledge seekers. Whenever you see a knowledge seeker, you always see it around them, you feel it. And Mr. Keshe himself, it has this very, very unique ability to touch you on many levels, as we all know. As he speaks the words, you know, we always feel like he's speaking directly to you, and that's because he is. You know, each and every soul has a time, place, and position, and so and with many hats and many different places, we can Mr. Keshe can touch all the different positions in this moment, as we all can, when we realize that none of us are higher and none of us are lower. So enjoy the moment. So bring the needs and wishes. So the needs and wishes would be for the foundation to blossom and grow, and to bring this plasma technology to the world, so the world enhances and becomes the beautiful paradise and the beautiful place that it always has been, that is within inside us. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much, my dear Dee. So here, as you say, in this beauty and totality, coming, be in this condition of love. There is always love, you know. So thank you, my dear. Any beautiful souls else want to say something? There's a comment from Mark, a message from Mark I want to read. My dear Mark, I know where to manifest my soul of physicality in another soul, or within the soul itself. Now you understand the biggest magic. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, my dear.
But may I just quickly say, again, from this digital representation that we have on the screen as we look at it, the one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. So one planet. So the universal community, when they're present with us, and we know that we all sense that many souls have been present with us for a very long time. And so can you start to imagine the beauty of this wonderful condition that is present in this moment? So can you see the beauty of whatever it is that brings total, you know, a wonderful feeling, a sense of being happy, joyous, balanced, and giving in this moment, something that would bring you the most intense joy. See it, feel it, and really be part of it, because this is what is being brought forward onto the planet. This is the whole reason why the foundation is present, and why this is gradually taking position. We know the foundation has now reached a world government to take a new position. And so this means that when you, as Mr. Keshe said, so you go from micro to macro. So if you enhance one plasma, then it moves all the other plasmas. It has to. It's like, it's a field strength that you can't stop. As Mr. Keshe said, it's if the process has started, there's no way of going back. So create more and create with beauty with your thoughts, and see, feel and touch what you want it to be, this beauty on planet Earth. See it in this moment. And then as soon as we all create this in our thoughts, then it's going to amplify and radiate out and be part of the matter state reality that we live in this moment. Thank you, Sweta. I think that's enough for now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing again. Okay, thank you. If there's any more comment or any message?
I don't see anything on their social media that we need to address right now.
Okay. Okay, then wrap up time. And we can go to the next slide, my dear. Thank you, beautiful soul. Here, we are here to serve, not to be served. The universal council. Thank you, beautiful soul. Thank you. And I always say that please do join, leap in this beauty and totality. Follow, live this beauty and totality. Welcome to the Swagatam, to the beautiful energy, in the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute. Give yourself the space of kindness and love. Feel this unconditional love always. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls, for being here and taking the responsibility to serve humanity. And thank you again. So salam, namaste, salute. This is Shweta Anwar, UC Hindi language. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sweta, and thank you, Marie, and all the members of the Universal Council for presenting another show here, number 278 in continuous weekly programs in service for the benefit of all beings. And today's is Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. So again, thank you all for attending today. Our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And people are welcome, whether you're a newcomer to the plasma technology or an old timer like me. And we welcome all topics under the sun, basically, and we try to plasmatize everything. So that avenue is open for Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Okay, thank you, everyone. Now we'll
go to old timer, my friend.
phase into one of our old-time favorites here on the hip parade.
Thank you. Dance and clap, my dear beautiful souls. Live in joy always.
For those that don't know at this point, it's the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version, which makes us all clap and dance our way out of the show here. And I hope you do too. Okay, bye for now.